Au revoir to the All Blacks and congratulations to the French. Wowee. Guys, in this review, I'm going to be covering three main areas. Who played well in the first and second half of the match? Number two, what helped win or lose the game from both sides? And number three, who are the players to watch from both sides? And guys, if you're enjoying this content, please like, subscribe, and add any further comments underneath the video as you go. Look, firstly, looking at the match, wowee, the haka led by Rieko Ioane and Cody Taylor. Real spice, wasn't it, guys? That was great to see. But for me, I just thought that the French started so well, didn't they, guys? Like, they brought that physicality continuously against the All Blacks, and the All Blacks just a little bit inaccurate at the start and took them a while to build into it. But look, that try to Peter Lakai, an offload by Ardie Savea to him, that was pretty well executed in the end. So for me, after that, I thought the game went a little bit messy. I thought the French defence, geez, it was solid, wasn't it? Like, it just their physicality, they just cut down all that space and it just didn't give the All Blacks really a sniff, did they, guys? Ultimately, there was that intercept try to Cam Roigard, taking the All Blacks to a 14 points to 3 lead. Shortly after that, there was a good try in response to the French to Burros. Some good ball carries by the French. And then, yeah, ultimately, at the end of the first half, 17 points to 10 to the All Blacks, even though, look, I sort of felt the All Blacks dominated that first half really with the possession, the pressure they were putting on the French, and they just couldn't execute and get the points that they probably deserved and needed to, really. Conversely, you look at the French and that defence, the way they hung in that first half, you know, real good effort to the French. Look, at that scoreline, the game was definitely in the balance. And one thing, you know, about the French, look, they can score 3 tries in 10 minutes. So definitely go either way. And then look, that first 10 minutes after half time, wowee, the French get down in the All Blacks half, and that line out off the top with the pushover try. Geez, that was well executed, wasn't it, guys? Really slick try there to the French. And then just a little bit more from the All Blacks, guys? Like, let me know your thoughts on that. They kept going through the motions on attack, really taking it to the French, but it just wasn't quite that, didn't have that ruthlessness, did it, guys? And obviously that pass went to ground by Tupu Vai, try in the corner to the French. So 14 points in that first sort of 10-15 minutes after half time, guys, to the French. Look, after that, the All Blacks attack sort of went up a notch, didn't it, guys? You could see that they stopped kicking so much. They really started spinning the ball wide, testing that French defence. But, geez, that French defence was just immense, wasn't it? Like, the way that physicality, the way they cut space down, and then the way they were able to cover and get out wide was just immense. And the All Blacks just had no answer to their defence, really, guys. A couple of other things I thought were pretty crucial in the game. The All Blacks, that they kept putting the pressure on them, but there was a couple of moments in that game where the All Blacks made sort of uncharacteristic errors, and that really put pressure on them as well and helped the French. You know, particularly that the first was the All Blacks were on attack, hot on attack against the French, and Bowden did the pass over the top to Caleb Clark. Yeah, guys, just didn't need to make that, you know. They had the pressure on the French, just pressure on, building the phases, and they would have broken that French defence in the end. The other one was big moment. Look, Wallace Satiti, breakout player of the year. You know, massive turnover. The All Blacks go downtown, you know, crucial line out, you know, really good attacking opportunity. They score there, they win the game. And just Wallace Satiti catches the ball off the line out, you know, down to Cortez Ratama with a poor pass off the line out. Cortez knocks it on. So a couple of real crucial moments that the All Blacks made uncharacteristic errors there, guys, and that really helped the French. Look, ultimately, the penalties, you know, kept coming to a couple of the French, a couple of the All Blacks, and yeah, a couple of those big moments that just unforced errors to the All Blacks. And look, full-time score 30-29 to the French. Tough pill to swallow for the All Blacks, but some big learnings there. They'll have to be better in coming weeks and years, guys. Look, guys, firstly, I'll look at both teams and look, the All Blacks. Look, I thought overall that they played well. Their defence was solid. It was hard to crack for the French. I did think, though, they've got some work to do with that close quarter type defence, particularly, when the French brought that raw physicality and at speed and just momentum up the middle. It really tested the All Blacks, and particularly what you'd see, the All Blacks would end up having 2 or 3 sometimes players tackling one of their big French ball carriers, creating space out wide with the numbers getting sucked up the middle. So something they'll have to be much better at, particularly these physical sides like the Springboks will be seeing that and licking their lips. I thought that the All Blacks, look, guys, let me know your thoughts on this with their attack. I just thought they were just going through the motions, to be honest, like running at 70-75% really. Yes, it was accurate. Yes, they were getting the ball wide, but, it wasn't like players were running onto it at raw speed, accurate lines to really test the French defence. And I just didn't think they brought that raw physicality on attack the way they needed to test that French defence. So yes, although it was accurate, it just lacked a bit more and a bit more spice that they'll have to get better at. And look, ultimately, attack execution, whilst their attack was good overall, it just didn't quite have it, did it, guys? Look, guys, looking at France, one thing that's great about them is just their game plan is just so simple and so effective, isn't it, guys? They just have these huge lumps of forwards that, and just off the breakdown, Antoine Dupont will snipe left or right and just do a short ball to these huge, humongous forwards running powerful lines, getting over the advantage line, really testing that opposition. And then, they keep building that pressure. And then when it's on, they do a crossfield kick or when there's space that they shift the ball. Really simple and really effective. The other thing, I thought that French defence, the way that they brought that physicality, they shut down that with that line speed. There was very little space available to the All Blacks. And the way they covered, they got out wide. The French had such tired legs in that second half, but they seemed to get out wide and really cut down that All Blacks attack. So very, very impressive from the French in that regard. Guys, my key players from the match that I thought were crucial, firstly, Antoine Dupont. Guys, he is one hell of a player, isn't he, guys? Like, the way he snipes around that breakdown, he holds that defence. But just his kicking was phenomenal. His passing is just so accurate and so slick. And his defence is he's so powerful and strong. Look, guys, let me know your thoughts. Is he in line to be the world's best player of the year again this year, guys? Like, he's a phenomenal player, isn't he, guys? The other one I thought was good for France was Thomas Ramos. Look, he's dangerous. His kicking was exceptional. But for me, I thought his game management was fantastic. Like, he just leads that back line and that forward pack on attack so well, passing, he kicks when it's on, and it just is that real game management the French way. So I thought he was phenomenal. To me, the All Blacks players that were significant in the game, look, Scott Barrett. Yeah, look, his core work for me was good. His work at the breakdowns, his work in the line-outs, his work on defence, and his general game play was good. Again, though, guys, and let me know your thoughts on this. He's a young captain, and I just question that call 72 minutes in, and they take the penalty kick at goal when they've got the French, fatigued, under pressure. Guys, I honestly think if the All Blacks score at that point, 72 minutes in, I think they win the game. So it's a difficult one, and hindsight's always good, but I just question that, guys. Look, there's different scenarios in games. If the game was hosing down with rain, it was messy, I'll probably say you'd take your kick at goal. But, the conditions were good. They had the French team fatigued. I think they needed to go for the jugular, go for the try and win it at the 72-minute mark, not get a penalty to try and win it later. He'll take some learnings out of that, and no doubt his leadership will be better for the future because of it. Look, Ardie Savea, guys, wowee, that was really interesting, wasn't it? I expected him to play a lot tighter as 7. I didn't think he'd do as much ball carries, but if anything, he was probably looser than probably what he is at number 8 often. Like, I saw him less at the breakdown, but he seemed to be ranging out on the wing a lot more and just sidestepping wingers, and Jesus, ball carries were effective though, whether he's out on the wing stepping wingers or up the middle, big powerful ball carries. He was phenomenal again, wasn't he, guys? Cam Roigard, guys, let me know your thoughts. Is he now the All Blacks' #1 halfback? I certainly thought he was good. His defense was solid. He's physical. He ran the ball well, but the big thing from me is just like his physicality, particularly that breakdown in that first half was a mess to the All Blacks. And Roigard just seems to grab the ball and he fends off a French forward, or it doesn't seem to bother him if the breakdown's a complete mess. So he was great there. And then look, guys, a big one for me is the Beauden-Barrett, Damien McKenzie combo. So look, Beauden was good. His game management was solid. His defense was solid. His leadership was great. But I just thought that Beauden, he was at sort of a 7 out of 10. He just lacked that real spice, didn't he? When he's taking the ball to the line, he'd sort of do it at 60%, rather than the Beauden 6-7 years ago would be hitting the line at raw speed and probably cut through that French defence. And again, the game management on attack, it just felt like Beauden was they were going through the motions rather than Beauden getting the ball and executing, really accurate, brutal attacking phases to test that French defence. Alternatively, look, we've talked about Damien, how he's got so much flair, not French flair, just flair, guys. But when he came on, he made an immediate difference, didn't he, to that All Blacks attack? He's running the ball at speed, and he seemed to set players up to be also running at speed, hitting gaps. And suddenly the All Blacks attack was much better, wasn't it, guys? So the other thing I thought with Damien, his work with a high ball was phenomenal. He's not a big guy, isn't he? But, that French Thomas Ramos would put up a big bomb and he'd get up and he'd take a number of good high balls, wasn't he, guys? So, yeah, guys, I still don't know the answer to whether or not Beauden or Damien should be first 5. Guys, let me know your thoughts, but perhaps Beauden just needs a bit more time in the jersey to, move himself from a 7 to a 9 out of 10 and bring that real, flair that he used to have. Guys, is that the answer? But, yeah, it just felt like the game management was just going through the motions by the All Blacks, guys. Look, guys, in summary, the All Blacks, they should have executed. They should have scored at least 1 to 2 more tries. And I think they welded enough to win the game, guys. Tough pill for them to swallow. The French, they didn't have a lot of possession, but, certainly they took their chances. And man, oh man, did they defend well, guys. They were brutal. And look, ultimately, they took their chances when the All Blacks didn't. They deserved the win. So congrats to the French. Guys, let me know your thoughts. What do you think decided the result? Guys, who are your key players in the match or key moments? And guys, add any other comments you thought about the game. And if you've enjoyed this video, please support the channel, like, subscribe, and add further comments to support the channel. Cheers.